All right, YouTube, we are back. We're continuing with JUM SAU now. So we've already covered Pak SAU, we've covered Tan SAU, and we're going to cover JUM SAU. Again, remember, when you are watching my YouTube videos, you're watching a very opinionated guy who's doing his Wing Chun. All right, my background, some of you have asked for. I was under Danny Halligan for years, Phil Nearing for years, now under Syed Ahmad. So there's my background right now. I'm going to eliminate all the stuff from what, in my experience, does not work. And what I mean by that is the way that Wing Chun is portrayed right now is portrayed for the movies, and in Wing Chun, an application for fighting does not work. I talked about that when I met with Nick Faruqi from Ballistic Fighting Methods, and we both saw how that, him and Light Burley saw this fantasy food that doesn't exist, that when, a punch comes at the tail end of it, you're dealing with this stuff out here. In a real context of a fight, this is not 300 years ago where long bridge fighting was done. Now everyone fights like an MMA guy and a boxer, okay? So the way that Wing Chun was represented to me when I first started learning was that everything is an attack. We have no blocks, okay? Putting that into place, these arms are not gonna be here when you punch. So it doesn't matter if this is the first video in the series you're watching or if this is the third, that punch is gonna snap out and then return back, and right here and back and come back. It's not gonna be there. Okay, so your movements can't be to block that arm. It's not going to happen, especially if you're a little person. And again, too, my background, yeah, you know what? I tell people, you can take my word for it, don't take my word for it. If you want to go to somebody else's channel and watch the detailed, breakdown of Wing Chun, great. But I was a cop up in Lake County in one of the worst neighborhoods, and I worked in 4 a.m. bars for several years. I've had my ass kicked several times, so unless you can take a punch, I don't think you know what a fight is. I mean, just because you can throw a punch. So just keep your eye out when you're watching YouTube. There's a lot of great guys out there. There's a lot of guys who are actually horrible. So again, I'm opinionated. Move on if you want. Stay if you want. The JUM SAU is an energy. Ready? This is going to be like the Fuk SAU. JUM SAU doesn't exist. It doesn't. If you saw in the beginning of the video we did, Chris threw a punch, and I went Tan. Chris threw a punch again, and I popped, and then he punched low, and I jumped. Okay? Now, number one, the first thing in that sequence that was wrong is I backed up. We're not going to back up in Wing Chun, but I did that to show you the JUM SAU in the application of, like, so you could see it, movie. Chris punches, I'm not backing up. It's not Wing Chun. If Chris punches and I back up, he still can step in with that mass power, okay? I told him to throw a 1-2 punch. Chris punches, I'm coming in. That's all my Wing Chun is always going to come in. Doesn't matter if it's a Pak there or punch, or if it's a Tan there, I'm going to come in. I'm always going to smother my bad guy. I have to do that. Because once again, once contact is made, he's going to pull that back to fire that punch, and I'm already here. I would rather take a punch here or here versus all the way out here. Even that tap felt really crappy. So, infancy, adolescent, adult, where are you going to take it? I'm not going to give that risk. The JUM SAU energy is sinking elbow block. Okay, in the form, you look at it from here, 1, comes back, and in our system, we bring in the elbows a little bit just to get the energy to go forward. That's the motion, forward. Okay? You're going to have to look at 2 points coming from your body. The wrist and the elbow. And this is going to answer the question to a lot of you guys why I headhunt so much. A lot of you guys will see that if I Tan, you're asking me why I don't palm strike here. If any of you have fought or you watch fights, you'll see that it's not very easy to knock somebody out. How many YouTube street fights do you watch where people don't get knocked out? How many MMA fights you watch, people don't get knocked out? People can take punches. So you think these body hits are really gonna do a lot of damage? Oh, my Sifu can break my ribs and internalize my organs to liquid. Great, okay? The chances of him getting there to do it are gonna be slim to none because once again, it's a real fight, not a fantasy kung fu made up sequence he did in his head. You'll see me do this. And I headhunt because everyone goes, oh, you're so short, why don't you go low? It's because of elbow, the sinking energy from JUM SAU. My alignment with this JUM SAU is here. It's not here. This is headhunting. Chris wants to keep coming in. I have no energy to hold that off. Coming in, I have no energy coming off. That elbow is going to give 2 points of energy going into him. One's here, one's here. So if he comes in now, no. This no longer takes over. This is the backup. Here's my punch. He comes in. I can hold that better. So when Chris throws a punch here, you'll see me here to drive in. To where even if I can't get that hit in the head, I'm disturbing balance. Of course, you could do the same thing low. Chris punches. You can drive in like that low, but nobody likes stuff in their face, okay? You know, this, that's okay, it's okay. This, he doesn't want that up in his face right away. So as the first method of attack, he steps in with a punch. I'm gonna come in here with that jump style energy, which is simply a punch. If you look at everything like I said before, Tan, it's a strike. Pak, it's a strike. Punch low. Who cares? I screwed up, right? No. There's my jump style energy protecting that line, so my strike is next. So punch low on that side. Oop. There's my strike on that side. Punch and snap it back. Now I'm still in line to hit. But if I use jump style how we think it is, punch and pull back, now it's gone and I have to change angles. So once again, that's a perfect example of you can't dictate what somebody's going to do in a punch, even if it's or in a fight, even if it's a demo. So are you going to run the risk of chasing someone's arms to defend against? He gets his hands up and punch. Oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I told you what my method is before. He punches. I'm going to come in and find those gaps right away. Okay. So jump style again, just like fook style. You know, Chris punches left. There's no fook style. I'm going to get that energy fook style to come in. Punches left. It better be a punch coming in. Come on this side for real fast, Matt. Okay. Here, this is me headhunting. You see my shoulders up? I'm trying to go up and deflecting that punch. If I sink that elbow down and go in, he pushes in, I'm so much more stable to switch. That's jump style energy. Jump style energy is coming in. Elbow forward, sinking forward. Okay? So this is real quick. There's no jump style in Wing Chun. Okay? It's energy. Elbow and wrist, 2 lines going forward. Punches low, you're still punching in towards him. It's not a block. All right, that's it for jump style. See you in the next video.